Hello, and welcome to episode 73 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, with this episode today, it's going to be an over-the-phone interview here with one of our local guys that is responsible for getting two public clay courts made in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area. It's going to be episode 73. I know in the introduction here, I thought it will say 72, but it's really actually episode 73. So, with this, I'll get on with the interview and kind of let you know where I pause it, let you know where I was in my kind of storied career with playing tennis, and we'll get it going and get it started here. Thank you for joining me on episode 72 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, today what I'm doing is over the phone interview with a Charles Weed. Now, actually, he has kind of responsible for actually coming across here in the Twin Cities clay courts that are public that you do not have to belong to a club with. Thank you for joining me here, Charles.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it is really. So I just recently played on those. I went and took a little road trip there and found them and hidden away and with the wind screens and the trees around there, even if it was windy, it's not all that bad on those courts with the wind.
No, it's a beautiful location surrounded by trees, so we do have wind screens, but yeah.
So, oh yeah, absolutely. Now, had the tennis courts that were there before, pretty sure they were hard courts, but were they located at that same place and you just kind of tore them up and then made those courts?
Yes, they were asphalt courts, not been used in years. Cracked up, grass growing through them. Still putting that across them.
Yeah, of course.
We just totally rebuilt.
Okay.
From ground up.
Oh, from ground up. Okay, that sounds. So, are you yourself? Are you a tennis player yourself? Grew up in the field, or are you a Minnesota guy? Did you grow up in Minnesota, or come from another place when you moved here, or have you lived here all your life?
No, I grew up in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I am a tennis player.
Okay.
It would be kind of strange if it weren't.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, I'm a tennis player. I started playing when I was probably 8 years old.
Okay.
My dad and I used to play on clay courts down in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So I know about them. I moved to Minnesota in 1990.
Okay.
I've been here quite a while.
Oh. So with that, he moved here in 1990. I moved here a little bit before him in 1988. But however, him growing up in South Carolina, that's really something, to be able to play on clay in South Carolina and everything. But good for that. But just remember, you YouTubers, be sure and subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. If you like the phone interviews, let me know. You podcasters, you're going to be hearing about the racket of the day. And if you wanted to go take a look at it, just go to my YouTube Tennis Volley Talk on YouTube. Just you can find out there, make comment, like, and subscribe. Sure. I moved here in 88, so I've been here a little bit longer, but not much.
Just a little, yeah, not by much, though.
Not by much, but I've been playing about 50 years myself. But so in South Carolina, was the clay courts pretty predominant in that area, or are they pretty a mix of everything?
It's a pretty good mix. My parents were part of I grew up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, so they were part of the Spartanburg Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had clay courts. They had hard courts too, but they had clay courts.
Oh, sure.
Archer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and then through the years of playing, did you kind of grow up in that area?
idea to go to those courts to play, or how did you kind of come across those particular courts?
Well, my dad wanted to play on clay, and I have to admit that when I was younger, I didn't really notice. It didn't matter to me that much. And so I played for my high school, and that was hardcourt tennis. So I mostly played hardcourt because my friends weren't members of that club. But when my dad wanted to play, that's where we played.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But then when you came here, how did you kind of stumble across those courts, or how did you kind of get affiliated with coming up with the idea of coming up with clay courts for public use?
Yeah. Well, then actually, my family has a house in central New Hampshire, and it's sort of stuck in the mountains. It's in a small town. I played in their little town tournament, and I made it to the finals, so I got to know a lot of people. And then they said, "Hey, you want to come play at the clay court?" And I was like, "What? What? I mean, this is in the middle of the woods.
Oh my gosh!
There's this court in the middle of a meadow.
Oh my gosh!
And these guys had built the court.
Oh my goodness!
And they maintained it.
Oh my goodness!
And so there were like about a core of 4 guys that, one of them was a carpenter, the other one cut grass for a living. I mean, it was really very working class guys. And the person that owned the court was sort of an absentee landlord. He'd show up for maybe 3 weeks a year.
Oh my goodness!
So those guys are the ones that got me thinking, holy mackerel, you guys built your own court and you maintain it. And they're just regular folks. They're not tennis pros.
Oh my goodness, really?
And so that's what really got in my head. When I go there every summer for 2 weeks, I'd just be so happy.
Of course.
Well, of course, being happy, being able to be on the clay courts at that time, just really it must have been such an experience to be able to actually kind of like see what they've done, what they did in making a clay court, one clay court out in the middle of a meadow. Unbelievable in a sense. So, that must have been a dream come true for him to do that.
Just a magical place. And I said, well, why don't I see if I can get this 52 weeks out of it in a year instead of just 2?
Oh, absolutely. My gosh.
Which really isn't realistic because Minnesota, 52 weeks outside doing it.
That is true.
But anyway, the whole idea is, wait, maybe this is magical for people that aren't professionals, building or maintaining courts.
Oh, sure.
So we didn't build this court, because that's a pretty aggressive thing.
Well, yeah.
But maintaining, that's the joy.
Okay. And then that must have been such a, like, right in the middle of the field in a clay court, and kind of like a field of dreams almost on tennis, with tennis.
The way I would look, I printed a picture and put it up on my desk and just looked at it every day.
And I smiled.
How can I get that?
How can I get that?
In my life.
Yeah, that's right.
I literally did that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I know how you feel. I mean, I grew up on white cement courts with the chain link fence back in Oklahoma, where I'm from. And, that was on the high school courts. And it was like, I grew up that way. And growing up hitting on the fast cement and everything like that. But then with that aspect of it, then did you, from what I gather, did the neighborhood get together and put up the money for those courts to have the USTA come in and help with some of that too?
It started with us talking to the commissioner that's now the president of the Minneapolis Park Board. His name is Mick Borney. It started with talking to her. She's interested in generally impermeable surfaces.
Yeah.
So she helped these guys in Linden Hills build a bocce ball court. They're running that court, and she just liked the idea that the surface is permeable. So they're not building a bunch of asphalt, not just asphalt surfaces. They're building permeable surfaces. So for her, it was an environmental thing.
Oh, yeah.
So she, God bless her, she got us in front of the assistant superintendent, Michael Schroeder. that guy's the real deal. He listens. And I couldn't believe it, but he actually thought this was intriguing. Yeah, I certainly expected the park board to sort of be bureaucratic and maybe give us a little space time, but not really take it seriously. But he did. And that really was where it started. And then we got the support of another commissioner up in North Minneapolis, Wendell French was his name. And that was a political coalition that really worked. Oh, gosh.
And so amazing how it just kind of like exponentially kind of fit in with him talking to the people that he did that actually did have the interest and were listening to him talk about it and how to do it, and actually then gained ground as far as getting the interest going with it, of the getting those clay courts started at the time then too. It must have been so cool and so wonderful just to be able to have somebody see the vision in the park recreation area, and knowing that, it could have been, bureaucratic and we're going to delay this, delay that, and whatever. So it must have been really good to have him have people that were willing to listen on that. But like I said, you YouTubers, if you want to like, subscribe, and comment, be sure and do that. And you podcasters out there, be sure and do the same, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to take a look at the racket of the day that's going to be coming up, then you can certainly do that on my tennis YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk.
Finally, we met the superintendent of parks. His name is Alvin Gora. And he played clay court tennis at Parade in the 1980s, late 80s, early 90s. There was a court there, indoor court. And when you have the superintendent of parks that understands play and is a player, oh sure, okay, then you're on your way. he is our best spokesperson. He loves these courts. Oh yeah, so, and then what a better person to have somebody in your corner to finally get those to be made. Exactly. He was a divine gift because he's such a nice person and he really understands it. So and there's this woman that did a house party for us over by the Wimbledon Triangle clay court, and she doesn't even play tennis. She was just interested in making that court better. Oh yeah. And she did a house party for us, and Al Bangor showed up, and she said she wept. He was that good at explaining why this is so important to do this. Oh my gosh. Oh, that must have been. Once you have his support, and once you have the park board sort of listening, then you get legitimized. They're willing to sign an agreement with you that says if you raise some money, you put in some money and we'll do this. Oh yeah, for sure. It's just, starting with legitimacy. And that's where we had to start. We're not a couple of clowns just. So hey, let's try to build a clay court, huh? Yeah, hey, let's build a clay court in a public park. Yeah, let's what? Yeah. Just, the public, you can't let the public just wide open on a clay court. I got a lot of that, Yeah. But what if dogs run on it? Oh, yeah, that's true too. But still, well, so what? So what?
And with that, these courts are just tucked away in a little triangle park area, hidden in a little residential neighborhood in Minneapolis, and nice, beautiful old houses there. And there's these two clay courts, and there they are. There they sit. And plus it has the windscreens on them too. But then it kind of sits in between trees around the court too. So even if it's kind of windy out, that all protects, and it doesn't feel as windy as what it is when you're hitting on those courts either.
And it's kind of really actually kind of a hidden gem. I think really around there, not very many people would really like have any interest in, like skateboarding on it because it's clay, they can't do it anyway, the kids. But it's an older neighborhood, but yet it's kind of hidden away that only tennis players know where it's at, and only the tennis players go to play on it.
It's true that park is sort of tucked away, and
Yeah, and what he's talking about here is 2 more clay tennis courts. They're going to be public clay courts are then going to be made. And so those will be all public for the use of, for people to use. And so we'll have 4 public clay tennis courts.
I just don't think that matters at all. I wish that the court were something that people rode by more, because I don't think it matters if it's exposed.
Well, that's
Lots of people go there found it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I just hit the other day on it with a friend of mine that stumbles across it on the internet, and I told him about it, and he goes, "I saw that. Hey, let's get out and play."
People come into town, they just type clay tennis courts in Google. Ours pops up because it's the only public one available.
Public of all things. And I think that blows people's mind away too.
It really just blows people's mind. I like people walk up and like look hard at it. It's really clay.
Yeah, it's really clay, and it really, I mean, it's really for the public to play on.
So some people say, well, how much does it cost to play? Walk on?
No,
public park.
It's public park.
We have a reservation system? No, we don't.
Don't even have to pay for court time. You just show up. Oh, that is just so amazing. And then I've had my experience myself that I've actually had, not playing on clay, but I've had the opportunity to play on surprise grass tennis courts myself, which is really a treat to play on too.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What you said? What kind of tennis court?
Grass tennis court.
Grass.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know, you've probably been to the one or heard about the one in Charles City, Iowa.
I have.
And then I've played on that one, and then I've also played on one of 4 grass tennis courts of all places, Baker City, Oregon.
Okay.
And the guy went to British Columbia and came back and said, I could make some. And he made 2 grass courts, and right next door he made 2 more. So
Looks like you get the first 2.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, it's got Mark Martin out of Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
A few times.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice guy.
Oh, yeah. And it just been, and I played some doubles on it once, and it was really, really kind of really nice, to be in it.
Weird, isn't it? It's sort of weird.
It is, but it does have a pretty good bounce to it, too, so.
It does, but now, when you play on it, you can see what they mean by, when they're Wimbledon, all that stuff. It skids.
Yeah, it skips.
And, I just had once I played on it, he had just sort of resodded it, so there were some seeds and stuff like that. It was pretty early in the season.
Oh, okay.
But I got a sense of it, and it's like, wow, this is so different.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So you can understand why Sarah Molly works at Wimbledon,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you just hit that ball hard and it skips.
And it skips. I know. I mean, it's like amazing in itself to be able to play on something different, that, wow, to have that experience. And now to have that experience with the public clay tennis court that I mean, you tell people and they go, public? Really? What?
No, it was actually it was difficult to. One of the difficulties we had in sort of getting funding for this from the government was that it was seen as. We also got money from Hennepin County. And I remember talking to Marion Green. She's the president of the board, Hennepin County board, and she said, "Well, I'm just getting from people that this is kind of an elitist thing." And I just couldn't accept that. Like, she actually called me to tell me that she wasn't going to fund this.
Oh, my.
And she said that it's because, it's just the equity issue is not there. And I'm like, all right, I just can't let that go. This is an equity project.
Yes, it is.
It's not an elitist thing to have to play court. It's quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite.
I just sort of worked her, and she said, oh, I guess I didn't understand any of that. So she said, I think, let me give it some thought. And she went ahead. She changed her mind. But it does have this aspect of like, they think it's elitist.
Yeah.
It's only at high-end country clubs.
Yeah, and it's 2 public tennis courts that are clay, which is pretty much, you could probably probably hear your passion of tennis like I have my passion, that when I talk to people about tennis, that's like, and I've had my plethora of being able to be and see tennis stars over the years too, Connors and McEnroe and David Wheaton and all those guys over the years in exhibition matches, and also back when I was in Tulsa with the Bank of Oklahoma tennis tournament that Connors was in for many years, and had the pleasure of seeing him play so many times and stuff. But it is just so nice to, I mean, and like you said, she probably heard your passion that you have for it, and then you convinced her because of the fact that it's not in the lead. It's some more tennis courts for us tennis players to play on.
Well, it's also a thing where the community is taking care of this court. It's one of, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I think it's one of the best courts in the Twin Cities.
Oh, it is?
And I've seen people, like really good players that have access to Minneapolis. I don't want to run down Minneapolis. They were Gary Gossam is the head pro there. He was very helpful for this. He let us tour his facility. He showed us what hydro courts are.
Oh, yeah.
Water from underneath.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what makes the maintenance possible.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And Steve Carlson over at Interlochen, he was very helpful. I asked him, like, straight up, Steve, can volunteers do this work? And he said, absolutely. So,
and the nice thing is too is that what they have, and really for a public court in these two clay courts, they actually have the plastic score numbers on the net post along with the sets that you play, and it has those on the net post itself. When you're done playing and you've used the court, they have the brush that you can pull and sweep and brush the court and make it look pretty again. And then they have the line sweeper that you then sweep over the line and it cleans the lines. And so therefore you leave it as it was when you came, and it's just looks really good again. So just really amazing just to have the way to just maintain them. And anybody that comes, then they play, maintain the court, sweep it up, and make sure it's pretty for the next person.
For those guys in those little institutions that are, for them to say, yep, you can do this, that was so helpful. That was so nice. But I get people that have played on some of those places and they walk on this court and they say, this is the best court. And I think it's because so many people play on it. And they sweep it afterwards. So the thing about clay is if you sweep it a lot, that's what makes the court really nice. It's swept 10 times a day. People are out there all the time. And then they sweep when it's done. What I said to Marion Green was, it's not just lip service. The community does make this court the best. And it just happens to be the way that clay courts work.
Yeah.
And so that's when she was like, oh, okay. So it's more than just about tennis. It's a community garden.
That's right. You know? Oh, yeah, that is right.
And the community takes care of it, and it's a beautiful place because of it.
Oh,
so,
sure. Absolutely.
All of that was, it's like the Rose Garden.
That's right.
You know, like here at Rose Garden.
So, yeah.
That's been a good analogy, too, because people were concerned that, well, if you let the public in on the clay court, they're going to ruin the circus. Well, then people just go snip off the roses and take them home. I mean,
they do.
No, they just enjoy the Rose Garden.
Enjoy the Rose Garden.
Sorry.
But yeah, I know. I mean, that is just so wonderful in itself, too.
Yeah.
To have that.
My friends that did this with me, like my friend Mike, said that this is the community first, and it's after.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, the tennis is pretty good.
That's true, too. And I like the way
they're both there.
They're both there.
And that's what makes it work.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And so hidden in such a hidden gem within the Twin City area that just so many people just still don't know about it. And that's our little secret with us tennis players now.
Well, I mean, I've heard a lot. Actually, I was talking to a guy yesterday who contributed a lot to this project. And he said, I think there are a lot of people, Charles, that don't want people to know that.
And that is true. You know, yeah, tennis players, they find that little hidden gem of a tennis court and they don't want to let other people know about it. Maybe the few tennis players that want to venture over there, they'll get a chance to play on it, which is always good too. And but keep it, you want to let people know about it, but you want to let more of the tennis players know about it, not any person that doesn't play tennis. They can come watch you play. So if you want that, that's okay too. So, but yeah, that's what makes it. It's a community court. The community takes care of the court too. Maybe if nobody's not really playing on it and it looks a little bit, it has some leaves on it or whatever, one of the community people or they'll live over in that neighborhood come by and sweep the court off or whatever. Just make it look nice.
That's true.
I'm not on that boat. I want everybody to be able to play it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We don't want to keep this a secret.
Well, that's right, too, yeah.
Just build more.
Yeah, no more. So, yeah, no, yes, someday or another, you're going to have, whenever you get out that way, you're going to have to let me know, and I'll come join you on the court.
Oh, please do, yeah.
That'd be good.
I don't know how often you get down to the city, but if you can't down it, just tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Over there, come with you.
All right, that'd be great. I mean, you probably, because you're probably exponentially quite a bit better than I am, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Don't make me run too much.
Yeah, I just want to hit with really anybody.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, I can certainly let you know on that. But with that, I mean, what a joy to hear the enthusiasm you as a tennis player to get that project going and have it come to fruition for you. And then plus you can hear that enthusiasm within the love of tennis that we all have for tennis.
It's easy for me.
Yeah.
So my wife gets that here.
No,
it gives back to me more than I get to her.
Oh, absolutely, it does.
When I go out there in the morning, sometimes like beginning of the day, that's what I've been doing recently. There's nobody out there, and it's my happy place. I just love being there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And sweep the court, sort of look around, and
it's just kind of like, gotta get that match in today sometime. Okay, who can I call? Who can spur the moment get out there?
Yeah.
And yeah, with that, it just makes it really nice. Just I'm sure it is really nice and quiet over there too, to have the tranquil and peace. Just looking, and if you wanted to go and be there in doing that, but. With you YouTubers, like I said, if you want to take, be sure and subscribe, like, and comment to my channel, Tennis Volley Talk. And then you podcasters, be sure and like, subscribe, and comment on the podcast. And then also, if you want to take a look at the racket of the day that'll be coming up, you can always go to the YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk.
I usually run over there in the middle of the day. Yeah. I'm working still.
Oh, okay.
But I'll run over there just see who's there. Say hi and then run back.
Oh, great. Oh, I mean, my gosh. Yeah, you could have got me over there on Saturday or Sunday, and you could have got me there 2 days ago. You could have got me there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just text me and let me know, and I'll just see if I can get out there.
Okay. All right, yeah. For absolutely.
We're trying to build 2 more of them on the green. I told you that.
I did hear that, and you told me, and that's gonna be some good courts too, I'm sure.
I just love that area. I mean, I used to bike along the green to go to work in St. Paul.
Oh, sure.
I just was there putting up some signs to let people know this is where it is.
Right here.
So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that's good. So, I so appreciate you joining me and giving me some insight on how that came to fruition. And it'll be on my podcast later on tonight. I'll drop it, and then later on I'll drop it to the radio people on for podcasts. So it's kind of how I do it there. So, but I
send me the link. I'd love to see it here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's like on iHeartRadio, whenever it drops, and then it'll drop to there. So if you're not a YouTuber, you can, which is
YouTuber.
yeah. So with Tennis been on that on the radio network after that.
Actually put that link on our website.
Oh no, I don't. I would love to have people, with the over the phone interviews like this, because it's so hard to try to get it with a screen invite and try to get people on camera and all that. So I think it's just as easy for the phone too. That way.
The phone works.
Yeah, it does, and I can hear the enthusiasm for both of us. Just we have that tennis passion, is what it is.
And we're not alone.
Yeah, we are not. We're not. And so, you come across anybody who wants to get in touch with me and have an interview, let them know that too. Or preferably, if you come across a tennis pro sometime or another, you know where I'm at. That's me. So, hey, Charles, I so appreciate you joining me on Tennis Volley Talk, and I'll get in touch with you and we'll see what we can do is getting out there too.
Sounds good, Brian.
All right. Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, that was the interview there. So now with this, here's the racket of the day here. Actually, this racket here is with it's actually a N.J. Magnan Corporation out of North Attleboro, Massachusetts, USA, and that's what it is. But however, with this, that company actually then did tennis rackets, and they produced the rackets in the 1920s to the early 1950s. And the models that they produced, one here is the Fairfield racket right there. And with this probably racket here, I'm probably in around the range in about the 1920s, 30s, maybe 30s, in that area, 20s to 30s, that they had this racket going here. And with that too, they also had the Superior model, not the Fairfield, but they had a Superior, just like the Davis rackets. They had the Imperial Deluxe. They had the Superior and the Olympic racket, and then the Defender racket, and the Overland racket. So they had a whole bunch of different series of racket. Could then jump up with some of the rackets at that time. But yeah, it has the old gut strings in it, and they're all kind of racked up, but that's okay. That gives the racket the character. Made out of still really sturdy wood, nice sturdy racket still. With this racket, and the big handle, no wrap on it, but big handles back then. They had really big handles to grip the racket with. But yeah, very, very, very nice racket all the way around. So that is the racket of the day. And like I said, you YouTubers, like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. And you podcasters, if you want to take a look at it, you go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and take a look at the racket if you want to take a look at it. And be sure and like, subscribe, and comment. So I thank you very much for letting me come in to your lives and house, and listening today, and get out there and keep playing that tennis. And then I will talk to you next week.